Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the CRNA Club podcast. My name is Sachi, and I create useful tools and resources to help you become successful in getting into CRNA school. If you haven't already checked out our website, thecrnaclub.com, we have a bunch of free resources for you there. I'll link it below, but it's thecrnaclub.com/resources. We have a bunch of free downloads, a science class vault, an AANA state meeting calendar. We have a 30-minute masterclass that you can go watch that is just chocked full of so much good information. That is where everybody always starts, and they're just like blown away by everything that we share there. So please go check that out. Definitely go check out the free resources on our website. There's so much goodness for you to consume for free. But today I want to talk about 3 underrated application strategies that just work. Okay, they just do it. We have seen a lot of applicants this past year. We've heard a lot of stories, had a lot of successes. People getting in have a lot of these things in common that I'm going to share with you today. Overall, we've seen what works and what doesn't. And the reality is there are some things that just do it, that just move the needle, that take you from that maybe pile to like the heck yes with the cherry on top pile, that get you your acceptance interview scored email instead of the wait list. I'm sorry, we regret to inform you email. So on the flip side, there are also some things that are big turnoffs, that are a big heck no technos as well. Is that like, am I dating myself? It's like heck no techno, like very 2000s. Okay, forget I said that. But anyway, there are a lot of things that are just big turnoffs for the admissions committee. So we're going to talk about those as well. Let's talk about the top 3 application strategies that you need to be deploying. Okay. Number 1, I've talked about this before. I have whole episodes on this. You need to be going to your AANA meetings. You need to be going to a state meeting, even consider a national meeting, especially if you are one of those people who has a lower GPA. By lower, I mean like 3.5 and below. Okay, 3.5 is not low, but like 3.4 and below. If you don't have a lot of leadership skills, or maybe your science GPA isn't the best, maybe you're kind of like a B science student, you're trying to retake classes, you kind of really feel pretty average. One of the ways that you can really step ahead and prove that you are committed and interested is going to an AANA meeting. So every year we have a couple of national meetings. We have our mid-year assembly that's always in Washington, D.C. in April. This is a political activation event rallying on Capitol Hill for some key issues that CRNAs are facing. Then we have our annual Congress. This is a big educational event. Think your typical like NTI type of vibe, lots of speakers, a lot of people show up, really fun networking event as well. That's going to be in August in San Diego this year. ADCE is Assembly of Didactic and Clinical Educators. This is the last year they're having it. I know a couple of our accelerator students are going, so good for them. But unfortunately, I don't think they're going to be having it again next year. So that one's kind of off the list. So in reality, you have 2 national meetings to choose from if you're listening to this going forward. But then you have state meetings. And this is kind of the gem, and this is kind of almost a better spot to potentially run into people who are going to be in your program, right? Most of the faculty members and program directors are going to be going to the state meeting. They might not go to the national meeting, depending on where that national meeting is, but they're probably going to be able to make that state meeting. So if your programs are all in one state, that might just work out better for you, because you're going to see 2 or 3 different SRNAs or program directors or faculty members, or even clinical coordinators from those schools, because they're all in the same state. So going to an AANA meeting is key. Networking is key. The second application strategy goes along with number 1, but it's fostering a relationship with the program, the faculty, and the students. So putting yourself out there and going to a state meeting or national meeting is one of the ways to do that. But another way to really get your name out there and have those touch points is to go to open houses. If there's an in-person option, you absolutely should make the effort to go in person. Also, don't be afraid to reach out to SRNAs in the program. You can ask about their experience, see if you can touch base with them, have a phone call or email them. Try to form a sense of connection there. You never know who's going to be on your interview panel. The other thing is, it's not uncommon for people to set up meetings with their program faculty members or program directors. Yes, some program directors are very busy. They might be annoyed. They might not want to talk to you, but there are going to be a lot of people who want good fits for their program, right? So definitely don't be afraid to send the email, have some very thoughtful questions. Make sure you're not asking things that are already on the website. I know you know this, but I'm just wanting to put that out there again. But don't be afraid to take a risk, right? What's the worst case scenario? You learn something. You already have a no now. Why not see if you can turn that into a yes? right? Okay. And the third underrated application strategy is ask if you can sit in on a class. You live in the state that the program is having their didactic courses at. See if it's an option for you to sit in and see what a graduate level course is like, what a graduate level curriculum CRNA program class entails, right? How cool would that be to talk about on your essay and during your interview? Yes, people have done this. Ask. If they say no, we've never had that done before and that's not a possibility, then okay, so be it. It just shows your initiative in asking. But if you go to a state meeting and you talk to a faculty member or a program director or a teacher, it's not a bad idea to say, hey, isn't it an option for me to just come one day and sit in on the pathophysiology class? I'd really love to see what it's like. You might be surprised if they say, sure, that'd be great. Here's my email. Class is on Tuesday at 3 p.m. Come on down. How cool would that be? Okay. So your 3 ways to stand out on your CRNA school application are go to an AANA meeting, really work on fostering a relationship with the program, faculty, and students. And number 3, ask if you can sit in on a class. All right. Good luck, you guys. You got this. Send the email. Make the connections. I just want to encourage you to put yourself out there. That is consistently what is getting people into programs, are these touch points, is them knowing you ahead of time before you get to that interview stage. Okay. They need to recognize your name. That is going to be the winner chicken dinner. All right, you guys, I will catch you on the next episode.